and the Dogs' deed is done.
What can I say? They were the best. They really stood out. They put it all together when it counts, and that's what this sport's all about.
What a routine.
And that just may do it for Georgia here tonight.
Wow.
The Jim Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Yocklin. Welcome to the Jim Dog Show. With me today is Associate Head Coach Jay Clark, and also with us today is our 9th NCAA Championship trophy, our 4th championship in a row, which our team earned this weekend at home here in Athens, and we are so excited. As you can tell, we hardly have a voice left. The competition was unbelievable, sellout crowd right here at home in Stegman Coliseum, and we won the competition with Utah in 2nd place, and like I said, it was our 9th overall championship, 4th in a row, and our team from the very beginning of the season had a theme, back for more, and it was unforgettable.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere all weekend long, and the team just never quit believing, even, throughout the season, never quit believing that this was where their destiny was, and they went through this meet virtually flawless. We didn't have perfect meets either night, but still it was enough, even with the draw that we didn't particularly like, that same draw that we had at SEC's beginning on floor. Although being at home, it turned out to be not quite as bad of an issue because our fans really got into it from the beginning.
We started on floor at Stegman Coliseum, and that's where we'll start right now to show you how our team won their 9th NCAA championship trophy right here at home, starting on floor exercise. Let's take a look now.
So we get started for the Super 6 on floor exercise, and as always, Abby Stack leading us off. Big triple fulls. She does take a little bit of a landing deduction there, but it was much better than the day before. Double full punch front there in the middle, and then finishes with one of the better double pikes that she's done in a while. Finishes very nice and high, goes 9.85 and gets us off to a great start, and the fans are in it from the get-go. Grace Taylor up next. Her whip through to double pike. You can't do it much better than that. Comes right back with her double tuck. Done very well. You can see that her chest is up on the landing. And then her 2.5 has continued to improve here. The legs were good on this one. Just that small step, much better than it has been. 9.875, so the scores are beginning to build now. And Cassidy McComb, our SEC Freshman of the Year, comes up. Beautiful double pike to open. Follows that with the front full front lay. A little bit of a large step there out of the front lay, but dances right out of it very well. Finishes with a 2.5 punch front, and folks, that's very difficult to do on the last pass. And Cassie's overall performance just really shines, and she goes 9.9 and matched her score of prelims. Tiffany Tolnay backing her up. Arabian double front, little step to the side, nothing too big. 2.5 punch front there in the middle, very solid. And then finishes this with a double pike. Excellent landing there, super landing, 9.9 again. So the momentum has really begun to build already for us, and you can feel that the other teams are aware of it. Front double full punch front from Katie Heenan. The 1.5 front layout half, done very well, her amplitude's up. And then she finishes with a double pike, which on the first day had given her some trouble, but excellent right here, and goes 9.95. So we post a 49.475 on the first rotation and head over to vault with a tremendous amount of momentum right out of the gate. Paige Burns gets us started on the vault. And Paige has continued to improve. You can see she's a little off center, but other than that, the quality of that vault has really improved. She starts us with a 9.75, and that's just what we needed to get us off to a good start there. And then Lauren Sessler coming up next, following up the day when she stuck the landing and went 9.85. You can see this one, not a stick, a little step to the side there. She goes 9.75 as well. We'll take another look at it here. It's a decent vault, but a step back there, and then she moves the right foot. So 9.75, but again, on her feet is what we really needed before we get to Marcia, and Marcia does a really big vault there, takes a step, not quite as good on the landing as the first day, but does get a 9.85 out of it. She had gone 9.9 the previous day. A very good vault in terms of amplitude and the other aspects of vault, but the landing did have the step. Cassidy McComb does her Yurchenko 1.5 here. And that just a little hop there on the landing. Excellent vault from Cassidy. She gets us that 9.9 that Marcia had gotten us the day before. You can see just that little hop. She knew she had a great one. You see Doug down on the ground. He knows it's a great vault too. Katie Heenan up next. Big Yurchenko full. You see her legs did come apart as she landed, and a little hop, 9.875. She did land it a little more cleanly the first day. But again, we told the kids they didn't have to be perfect. We just needed them to relax and be solid and be themselves on this day, and things would work out. And then Tiffany Tolnay comes behind it. The one she did in warm-ups was perfect. She stuck it, and you can see she was just trying to control that a little too much. Lands it just a bit short because of that, and moves that right foot back to cover it, and goes 9.85, so a 49.225. We had an opportunity to really kind of stretch it, but we've done enough to keep ourselves in a decent lead, and we head over to bars with about a 3.5 lead over Stanford.
The Gym Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By McCarr Homes. McCarr Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. By Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty, you. By Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official Honda of the Georgia Gym Dogs. By the Georgia Club. The Georgia Club, a community of neighborhoods in Bulldog Country. And brought to you by Alpha Factor. Alpha Factor, the official gymnastics apparel worn by the Georgia Gym Dogs.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by McCarr Homes. And this week's question is coming from us. We would like your help. We need to come up with a new slogan for next year. We'll be going for our 10th championship overall, 5 in a row, and we need a slogan. So write in to GeorgiaDogs.com and help us out. That's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by McCarr Homes.
Welcome back. Well, we've got a great start going, a 49.225 on vault. Could have been a little bit better. We didn't land great, but we've got a lead after 2 rotations, and we had an opportunity really to kind of stretch it there, but didn't quite do it, but not too bad because the second place team to us at this point is Stanford, 0.3 behind us, and we're headed to bars, which should go pretty well as it has all season.
Right, and like you said, Jay, I mean, we didn't have exceptional performance on vaulting at all, but the biggest opposition to us, our biggest competitors, Utah and Florida and Stanford, you know, they've had a rough start and gave away a lot of tenths, so we still have that edge, we still have that margin, and we're headed to our best 2 events. Right. So that feels real good, and it's different to be feeling good when you're headed to bars and ending on beam, but that's how our team feels. We love those 2 events. We've been #1 on bars the entire season, and so it's a comfort zone, and we're getting ready, so let's take a look at what Georgia does on the bars.
The crowd's really into it. Chanting UGA as we get started there on bars, and Nikki Childs, who did such a great job on the first day going 9.9. It was a beautiful 1.5 pirouette to her Ginger right here. Her handstand work is perfect. Half pirouette, went over a little much there. She normally does a soul circle there, so she had to glide kip out of that. Great handstand there, giant full. Her double tuck, and just a little shift of the feet, 9.85 is her score. We have podium rules, so you notice that we're not celebrating with our athletes on the podium. You saw me tell Nikki to get off the podium so that we wouldn't take a deduction or get a warning. Cassidy McComb up next with Kachev there at the beginning. It's hard to tell from this angle exactly where all the handstands are. But overall, she did a great job the whole weekend with her handstand. She's winding up for the dismount, and bigger than anything is this right here. She plants that dismount as she's done all year long like a dart, and 9.9 in the second spot is just huge in terms of creating some momentum for the rest of the group. Courtney McCool, who didn't do the bar routine she really wanted to do the first day. This one turns out to be great, and I know these handstands were up because I specifically remember watching them. She's getting ready for her dismount, which is a double A with a full twist. Probably the most difficult dismount done in the competition. And she nails hers too, 9.925. That's a career high. And what a night to pick to do your career high on an event in the Super 6 finals at the NCAA championship. So we've got 3 more routines, and we really got a lot of momentum going here. Tiffany gets us started off here. Pretty good handstand there. Jaeger's good. Everything's cooking along pretty good here. A little bit of a check there on her handstand. You notice that she had to pull that one back just a little bit. She had done that in warm-ups a couple of times. A little short on that handstand. Not bad, but probably could have been a little check there. And she sticks her dismount and goes 9.85, but it was because of those 2 handstands that we pointed out during the routine. But the landing was excellent, and these are things that certainly getting the crowd going, because when you're landing, most of the crowd gets more excited about that than they do anything else. So Grace Taylor in the 5 spot. This is the final counting score in our bar rotation, as Katie ended up going and missing the first Jaeger in her entire career, to the best of my memory, on bars. You see that right there? Her Coleman each flip was in just a little bit. And then we take the step here on the landing. She goes 9.825, but it's enough for 49.375 on the event, and gives us just enough momentum going into the last rotation.
Hi, I'm Katie. Christy, I was just wondering, what's your favorite event?
Thanks for the question, Katie. My favorite event is vaulting, because when I do a really good one, I can feel it in the air and it feels like I'm flying, and I land with a perfect landing, and there's no better feeling.
The Georgia Club favorite is the Gym Dogs, hoisting up their 9th NCAA trophy right here at home in Athens, Georgia. That's this week's favorite, brought to you by the Georgia Club. Welcome back. Well, that's a great rotation on the uneven bars at 49.375 on bars without Katie Heenan's score. You know, again, you only have to have 5 scores to count for the team, and we have had everyone picking it up at different points during the competition. It's been just a real team pulling together effort, and we're headed over to balance beam and feeling pretty good.
Well, yeah, we should be very confident there. As you mentioned, it's not an event that you can always go to, particularly in a high-pressure situation like this, and feel completely confident. But as this event goes, we've got to be pretty confident going over there, and we know that we've got about a 4/10 lead on Utah at this point, and they're going to be going to bars when we finish beam. So we've got to hit beam. We know we can't give anything away and leave the door open for them to go in there. But the kids do a great job, and Hillary Morrow gets us off to a great start on that event.
Absolutely. Let's take a look.
So we're headed to beam now, and Utah's on a bye, so they'll know what they have to have on the bars when they get there. If we just hit the beam, it should be a pretty substantial number. Hillary Morrow, our freshman, who's done a great job for us all year long, starting us off. You see just a little step forward on her punch front, which has been so solid for us all year. Switch side, done very well. And her dismount, which both days, just missed sticking it. I thought she had stuck it, but just missed sticking it. She starts us off with a 9.8, and that's just solid. That's what we need. We just need to be solid right now. We can't have any major breaks. Little ones are not going to kill us at this point, but major ones will get us in trouble and jeopardize the potential for a 9th championship. So Nikki Childs is up second, the senior, who's been such a mainstay for us on this event her entire career. A little bit of a balance check there, but moves out of it pretty well. Switch ring, done very well. And this angle doesn't do it justice when you can't see the full split of her legs and everything that she's doing. The double stag there connected well, and you can see she's working the beam on toe, and there's the moonwalk, and of course the crowd goes bananas, as they always do. And she's getting ready to dismount. A little bit of a hop there on the landing, but a solid routine overall, and she goes 9.85. Now Grace with her Coleman each Syllabage mount on the beam. And Grace was the eventual national champion on this event, and there's a reason. She moves on this event better than anyone and really flows through her routine. And with these clips, you don't get a full sense of the whole body of the routine, but just an incredible performance from her all weekend on this event. Front aerial right there for another D salto. And she's getting ready to dismount here. Little big hop there on the landing, goes 9.875, but the meat of the routine was virtually flawless. So now Katie Heenan and Courtney McCool are going to round out the beam rotation for us, and we really need one of these two in order for us to seal the deal to really get a big score. It'd be nice if they both did, but one of the two has to do it if we're going to really be able to seal this thing away and kind of put it out of reach. So far, Katie's looking great. Series did good. Straddle jump to sheep jump right there, done very well. And it's so nice to have a senior in this spot in this kind of a pressure situation. Very solid on the punch front. You know, and after the fall on bars, just to see Katie recompose herself and do this, knowing what's at stake, it just says an awful lot about why she's been the person she's been in this program for the last 4 years. Getting ready for the dismount. It's a round off double full, and she plants it, doesn't move her feet at all, 9.95, the second straight 9.95 on beam, because she had also scored that in preliminaries. And you can see her telling the fans goodbye. And now we've got Courtney McCool coming up. Really, for all intents and purposes, we're pretty comfortable that we're going to be able to win this thing. But as you'll see, Courtney McCool absolutely puts it out of reach completely here. She's going to get a 9.9 on this routine, and you see how solid it is. Just that right there is the only deduction in the entire routine, the 1/10er on the side summy. Everything else was flawless, no other wobbles, sticks to dismount, 9.9 even, and we finished with a 49.375 on the beam, the highest of any team on the balance beam. And at this point, you can tell that the team really starting to realize what has just occurred. They know they've won it. Audrey jumping around. The fans are going bananas. You see some of the fans there holding up 4 fingers for 4 in a row. This got us in a little bit of trouble. The seniors went up to say goodbye to the fans. It was not meant to be any kind of intentional rubbing it in anyone's face. And there you can see when the chairman, Deanne Keller, has come over and given us the trophy prior to the awards, which we thought was a little bit odd.
Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center. And this week's Routine of the Week is Abby Stack on the floor exercise as she competes to Inspector Gadget as the first routine of the evening that starts us out on our drive for our 9th national title. That's Routine of the Week, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
Countdown to the NCAAs brought to you by Melwood Springs, and we have the final results here for you. And as you can see, Georgia 197.45, a little better than 3/10 over the second place Utah Utes. And rounding out the top 6 were 3 SEC teams, Florida, LSU, and Alabama. That's Countdown to the NCAAs brought to you by Melwood Springs.
Well, there you have it. The team hits beam. Utah hits bars as well, but just not enough to catch us. It was that start at the beginning, starting on floor exercise, that strong start right off the bat, and the other team struggling at the beginning. They just couldn't catch us. They couldn't catch us even though Utah was coming on strong at the end. They needed too much, and we've got our 9th national championship.
Yeah, and it feels great to do it at home for the first time since 1989, and be able to do it in front of our home fans is a wonderful feeling here in Athens to bring it home and to have them share in the joy and in the celebration instantaneously when you win. It is a completely different feeling than when you're on the road and it's your team and just your travel party and
right.
waiting to get home and see the fans. So it was a wonderful experience top to bottom, and just a great way for these seniors to end their career here at Georgia.
And the next night, on individual night, we had 7 different girls competing for individual national title awards. 7 of those girls will be All-Americans, which is top 8 in the United States. We had Marcia Newby competing on vaulting. Katie Heenan did the uneven bars and the balance beam, and she had a great finish on bars. Tiffany Tolnay was on bars and beam and floor exercise, and I think her highest event finish was floor exercise. And then in addition to them, we had Cassidy McComb. She was on floor exercise also. She finished 7th in the country on floor exercise. Nikki got 9.9, and I think she finished fourth?
Yes.
Fourth on the uneven bars, and 2 national champions. Grace Taylor on the balance beam with a 9.95, and Courtney McCool on the floor exercise.
With a 9.9 high. We don't know exactly what it was,
Yes.
but it was a great score and probably, and without a doubt, the best routine she had done all year long.
Wow, we've got 2 returning national champions in Grace Taylor and Courtney McCool, and they're sophomores, which is great for me, obviously, because they're going to be back next year, and for J-Bub, too. He'll have a senior year with them, so Georgia's future is bright.
Yes, Suzanne, the future certainly is bright here for Georgia, and we just want to thank all of our fans, those that were here and those that couldn't be here, for all your support and helping us create an atmosphere and an environment for a winning tradition. We want to thank our sponsors for this television show, for keeping us on the air: Athens Regional Medical Center, Alpha Factor, and Arrowhead Clinics.
And in addition to them, we've got 4 other sponsors that have helped support Georgia gymnastics throughout the years: McCarr Homes, Melwood Springs Water, Phil Hughes Honda, and the Georgia Club. Thank you so much for all that you do for the Gym Dogs. Our tradition of excellence is motivated by all of the support that we have from all of our fans and friends, including our booster club, the 10-0 Club. They're the best. Go Dogs, and we'll see you next year with another show, the Gym Dog Show, as we go for our 10th national title.
The Gym Dog Show has been brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By McCarr Homes. McCarr Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. By Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal healthcare organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty: you. By Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official Honda of the Georgia Gym Dogs. By the Georgia Club. The Georgia Club, a community of neighborhoods in Bulldog Country. And brought to you by Alpha Factor. Alpha Factor, the official gymnastics apparel worn by the Georgia Gym Dogs.